Never-Ending Chain by Dragon Translator, Chapter 60. A somber yet happy day. The next morning found a somber scene within the great hall. Padrick glanced about the room, noting who stood where and with whom. He might be a farmer by trade, but he was also one of Chief Hendrick's trusted generals. It did not matter that this tribe was allied to his. It did not matter that the heir of the tribe seemed to hold a power over the dragons. Padrick could no more stop the ingrained urge to observe everyone and learn their place in the tribal order and the influence they held more than he could stop breathing. There had been too many times on the field of battle where that knowledge had saved a battle brother or sister's life. Stoic Hiccup, the two dragons that were always with the boy, the elder Hilda was apprenticed to, and several men Padrick only knew in passing, stood upon the wooden platform near to the back of the cavern. The robe-wearing woman that gave Padrick the distinct impression that she was a vulva, and held more secrets than all the other tribe members combined, stood upon the platform as well. Two blue, terror-sized dragons sat upon her shoulders. She held two hatchlings in her arms. Hiccup held the third. Though most dragons tended to blur together for Padrick, he noted the hatchling Hiccup held was the one almost killed by the chained man standing under guard by burly men with swords and a nightmare and a nada. The big black and silver dragon that had flattened the shackled man lay in the floor in between the platform. Padrick did not need Hiccup to tell him the big dragon would love nothing better than to burn the shackled man. Padrick looked around the room again, tuning out the blacksmith as he began to read the charge against the shackled man. Padrick frowned. Three older men, who held themselves like nobles of the tribe, stood far enough away from the platform that their bearings did not reflect those around them. The men must have been regulated to that position due to a shift in power and influence. Padrick noted the three did not glare at the man on trial. Their glares rested upon a family standing just to the right of the platform. Padrick's gaze moved, and he blinked. Hiccup's future in-laws were the ones being glared at. Padrick wondered if Hiccup knew. Padrick may let anger run him at times, but he was no fool. His father died at the teeth of dragons, but after hearing Hiccup's story, Hiccup knew he could not blame the dragon. Padrick knew the difference between a monster that acted without remorse and a soldier that acted due to orders. Dragons were animals, but intelligent and crafty ones. Their ability to last in a 300-year-long war was proof of that. Still, Padrick knew the raids had been done under the orders of a queen, who punished her shoulders with a fate that no sane Viking would contemplate. Padrick could hold no ill will to an animal that only wanted to live, and yet faced death wherever they turned. Padrick also knew that to ensure a tribe's survival in this post-dragon war era, one had to form strong allies, or strengthen already established ones. The hooligans with their dragons, and an heir that seemed to have become the dragon's new master, would be strong allies for the Shivering Shores to keep. Padrick marvelled at the wisdom of his chief once more. Henrik went against the other chiefs, and told Stoic in advance that the thing was to happen, and what it would be about. He further proved the tribe as steadfast allies by sending two people with high status and influence to witness and observe the truth of the dragons upon Berg. Padrick noted the old man and his friends continued to glare at Hiccup's future in-laws, and realised another chance to strengthen the ties between Berg and his tribe. He would approach Hiccup after this trial, and tell the young lad his betrothed or her family might be in danger. His gaze found his nephew glaring at Hiccup, and realised another way to prove the Shivering Shores were allies. Bainson had said that Hiccup was weak and a nuisance. He had told Padrick many times how the lad caused destruction every time he walked out of his front door. He blamed Hiccup for the death of his father, but Padraig knew the stupidity of his late brother-in-law had a tendency to show. It had been one of the reasons he had argued with his older brother to deny the marriage contract. Padraig was now seeing that same tendency to be stupid in his nephew. Padraig vowed to correct that. Bainson would not dishonour his mother, and by extension her family and their tribe, by holding on to a grudge that did not have merit. Bainson would not jeopardise Shivering Shore's place as allies to the hooligans. Bainson would not be the reason Hiccup turned his dragons upon the Shivering Shores. The morning held a sombre and shocked mood, though not even Bear's Pit's exile had cleared. Midday seemed inclined to follow the morning's footsteps. "Don't look so glum, young Alpha," Toothless's older brother said, surprising Hiccup by nuzzling against his head. "This isn't a goodbye. I will tell father and mother all you have told me about Toothless, and how you two came to be brothers. I also extend an invitation to you, your future queen, and those you wish to bring. Come, visit us. Toothless knows the way. Father and mother will welcome you all with open wings. Just stay away from my sister. She will take issue with Toothless getting hurt, no matter the reason or the outcome." Hiccup smiled, scratching the older brother's chin, earning a coup. The male was shoved aside by his mate. Hiccup chuckled as Toothless's sister-in-law used her tail to keep moving her mate away, but kept her head close so that Hiccup could scratch her chin. "Hey!" Toothless protested. "My Hiccup! Go get your own!" His sister-in-law snorted but removed her wing from around Hiccup's frame. She walked away, joining her mate near to the pond in the cove. Her friend sat between them and Hiccup, looking at both groups. The sister-in-law smiled and left her mate long enough to all but shove her friend towards Hiccup. The friend trilled a protest that the sister-in-law silenced with a swat of her tail. "I know you wish to stay," the sister-in-law said, "so stay." I'm sure the young Alpha would not mind. "Not at all," Hiccup said, sending his dragon brother a smirk. Toothless, having spent too much time around Gobber, rolled his eyes and snorted. "See," the sister-in-law said, "stay. Come with them when they visit." "But—" "No. I know. It's okay. You have your own wind current to fly in now, my friend, and the freedom to choose it. So, go for it." The friend sighed before nuzzling against the sister-in-law. "Thank you," she whispered. "Any time. Now ask him." The friend turned to Hiccup and bowed, wings outstretched. Hiccup tilted his head. "The nest I come from is wonderful, much like yours, young Alpha. Our king is wise and kind. My parents aid in gathering food for the nest." The female paused and then sighed. "I can never return there. I refused a male of high standing within the nest. He made it clear he would punish me for that refusal." Hiccup's eyes narrowed and he heard several low growls. "I will not bore you with long details, young Alpha, but I have enjoyed my time here. This nest reminds me of my old one before that male decided I should be his. I find I do not want to leave. May I stay? May I call you my Alpha?" Hiccup smiled and placed his hand upon the female's nose. "Stand," he said softly. The female did, but did not remove her nose from Hiccup's hand. Hiccup began scratching. The female cooed. "You remind me of a story," Hiccup began. "We have a human who frequently visits this nest. His job has him travelling and trading many wares to many humans, some who are not Vikings like us. One group he encountered told him a story of how their gods made the moon. They said a man threatened death to another over a prized gemstone. Their gods, angered by the man's actions, shattered the stone into dust and reformed it high in the night sky as the moon." Hiccup paused, That male acted with the same dishonor that human did in the story. Thankfully, the gods have seen fit to bring you here, instead of turning you into moondust. You are welcomed to call this nest home for as long as you want. Hiccup tilted his head. Moondust, he said softly. Is that to be my name? Do you want it to be? The female closed her eyes for a long moment and did not move. Her eyes opened and she shifted her nose out of Hiccup's hands in order to lay the top of her head against Hiccup's chest. I love it, my alpha. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this one. So yes, Moondust, yay! I've liked her already and she comes to be an excellent character. And yes, basically this is the start of Toothless getting a girlfriend. It's not the light theory, but it's pretty darn close. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified for whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and all binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.